So guys, welcome back to the channel. Montel Gordon here. In today's video we're going to be talking about what I kind of look for when I am prospecting businesses to then call, to then pitch my services to. I think this is going to be a really insightful type of video. I'm just hoping that you guys kind of like the new look of the video. Just let me know. I'm just testing out a couple of new color grading schemes and whatnot. I'm trying to up the content game basically. I actually moved from Adobe Premiere Pro to Final Cut Pro 10 just the other day, so I think this is my first video actually using it, and I'm gonna throw on like some color grading and see what it comes out at. So without any further ado, let's jump into the video. So the first thing I look for when I'm prospecting a business is it has to be relatively small. I don't want to be reaching out to these huge companies. I actually try and find businesses that have like around maybe 5 to 10 employees. Sometimes 15, could be up to 20, but anything more than that, it's a really no-go for me, because it just gets super complex and hard to reach the business owner. There's like levels of hierarchy that you need to go through just to get the business owner on the phone. It can get really complex. Some of these businesses are structured in such a way that it's just really hard to get the business owner on the phone, and we want to be reaching businesses where it's easy to get the business owner on the phone because they work there. So that's one point. We want to reach businesses that are relatively small, not too small that they haven't got employees and can't afford their services, but have the right amount of employees, and normally the sweet spot is around 5 to 10 employees. You also want to stick to places that have, you know, just one location. I've tend to seen that if you try to reach out to franchise businesses, it's a little bit harder to do, you guys, but it is definitely possible. This doesn't apply to the restaurant niche, this point here actually, because I actually advise you go after franchise businesses if you're in the restaurant niche, or at least very fancy restaurants with big operations basically, because a lot of restaurants can't afford a £1,000 per month retainer or $1,000 per month retainer if you're in the US, plus ad spend. But if they are a fancy restaurant and they maybe say like have 5 to 10 employees working there, so they got like people on the desk, a couple of chefs here and there, then I would actually definitely hit those guys up, because if they're paying 5 different people, you know, even at minimum wage, they still should be able to afford a 1K retainer for you to come in and do their marketing for them. Another thing I like to look for when prospecting businesses is I actually like to look at photos of the actual physical location itself. So I actually like to look at the photos of the business, so like the outside of the storefront. Just because sometimes businesses look nice inside but they're really bad outside, or in a really bad area. That's another point. I didn't even put this on my list. Sometimes businesses in bad areas can indicate failing or declining businesses, especially if the area is known for being like poor but it's an okay business. Just look out for stuff like that, guys. Sometimes you have to judge a book by its cover, and if the business looks like it's busted down, then just leave, bro. So another thing I like to do is I like to go onto their website, check their web presence, see if their website's looking nice. If they take digital marketing seriously, so they have a nice web presence, then that's a good indication. Then I also go ahead and check if they've got a Facebook pixel installed on their website. If they do have a Facebook pixel installed on their website, I normally tend to leave them alone at the moment and just focus on the people that don't have a Facebook pixel installed on their website. I say this to you because I know a lot of you are just getting into this, but if you're a more experienced marketer and you believe in your services so much that you can actually outperform another marketing agency, because normally what a Facebook pixel installed on someone's website indicates is, if they have one, it basically just indicates that there is like 90% chance that those guys are actually doing Facebook ads already if they have a Facebook pixel installed. If they don't, that means they have no clue about Facebook ads. Or if they do have a clue about Facebook ads and they're running Facebook ads without a Facebook pixel, you should definitely be hitting those guys up, because they are leaving so much money on the table without a Facebook pixel. It's like, why would you spend all that money on marketing, drive people to your website, but then not collect any like tracking data to then retarget those people? It doesn't make sense. You kind of like throwing money out the drain. So guys, another thing I look for is I'll go to their social media and see if they are active on social media, see if they're posting regularly, see if they, you know, even believe in the whole social media as a whole, as a concept. Because if they don't have social media, you might as well just leave right there and then, because not only will you have to sell them on your services, like why they should even consider you, to come and do their marketing, but then you have to sell them on the whole concept of social media for business as a whole. So, and that's not your job realistically, guys, and that's just a headache. So just stay away from people that don't have social media. So guys, what I've recently been doing is I'll go to a business's Facebook page and I'll go down to where it says ads and info and ads, I think it says, and then I'll click that and see if they're running ads. If they're running ads, and then I'll actually just check out the ad. I'll click the ad, see if it takes me to a landing page, see if there's a pixel installed. If the ad looks like it's good, then I'll just leave them. But if there's room for improvement, so like the ad copy is bad, the creatives of the ad is bad, then I'll actually hit them up. Or if the ad's actually good, it has a landing page, has a pixel, like I said, I'll just leave them. But if there's no pixel and there's no landing page, so for example guys, one of the prospects I reached out to, which actually became my client, was he was running ads and he was literally directing traffic straight from the ad to a website, not a landing page, which is really bad, because it just leaves people on your website naked, just they can click wherever, whereas a landing page is actually built for one thing and one thing only, which is you know, if it's a squeeze page, it just collects their name, basically the details, the name, number and email address. So another thing you want to check for, guys, is the business owner's actual name. If it's on their website, then you're going to want to grab that, put it into your Excel sheet or whatever CRM system you're going to use to then sort out your leads and then call them up. If you can't find their name on their website, you might have to check their social media accounts. If you can't find it on the Facebook, it might be on the Instagram. If you can't find it on either of those, then you're gonna have to Google it. And if you still can't find it, you're gonna have to like check the company records. There's a couple websites you can do that with. I know that Company House that you in the UK you can do that with. I'm not sure if that's around in America, but you definitely want to grab the business owner's name. It just makes it more personal when you then go ahead to call them. Also guys, I just want to give you a pro tip here that I've noticed that works, and I actually read this from a book called Smart Calling by Art Sobek, by a guy called Art Sobek. He says that you should, you know, check when you prospect, and you should check out a business for their recent activity. So for example, if someone's just gone on holiday and they're posting pictures on their social media that they're back, you can actually call them up and mention their holiday, ask them how their holiday was. This kind of like builds a little bit rapport, but it has to be genuine, guys, because these business owners can smell fake rapport building techniques from a mile away, I'm telling you right now. So it has to be genuine, and it has to, and keep it short as well, guys. So guys, those are a few tips of mine that I tend to look for. There's probably more, probably less, there's probably more that you can think of, but for now this is what I could think of, and I think these are a good starting point. Anything more than this, then you're probably wasting a lot of time. You should be on the phones calling and trying to sell your services. I mean, you can't spend all day prospecting, surely, unless it's the weekends. So that wraps up the video for today, guys. I was actually going to jump in my computer and do some live prospecting, but the video is getting a little bit long now, and I want to keep these videos relatively short, straight to the point, value packed. Yeah, so what I was thinking about doing, if you like this video and you want to see me doing some live prospecting on my screen like I used to when I used to do the whole old share screening, you know, video type, tutorial type of videos, don't know what the frig you call those, but yeah, if you want to see that sort of video again, where I'm, you know, got my little face in the little corner over here and the screen on the main screen, and you can see like over the shoulder how to prospect live, then I will definitely do that for you guys. By the way, when you're prospecting, you can prospect from a lot of different sources, so you can go to like d7leadfinder.com. that's a good way to get prospects quickly with like a click of a button, but there's limits to that unless you pay for the actual service. There's like web scraping, what I kind of specialize in. I don't specialize in it, but I kind of came up with my own web scraping little techniques, building like site maps so I can scrape any website, you know, for all the leads on there. It has to be like certain websites though, it has to be like in a directory format, so like there's like a business here, business here, business here, in like a list format, where it's relatively similar, because the software has to learn where different elements are on the page. Don't want to go too technical into that, but if you guys want to learn more about how to scrape leads so you don't have to go in and do this manually and like copy and paste everything from Google to Excel sheet, or from Yell to Excel sheet, then just drop me a DM on Instagram. I'll leave my Instagram somewhere around the screen so you guys can go ahead and do that. and then we can jump on a coaching call or whatever it might be. So guys, I'm actually thinking about doing a part 2 to this video where you can see me live on screen doing some prospecting over the shoulder and sort of what like I go through when I'm prospecting manually. So if you guys want to see that, please drop me a like and just comment yes for part 2 or something like that, and I'll go ahead and create that for you guys. Anyway guys, that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop me a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.